everyone, I am your astrologer Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here's your daily forecast for the day of Friday, March 16th, 2018. Now before I get started, I just wanted to let you all know I will be doing a Mercury retrograde webinar next Thursday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Excuse me. In that webinar, I will be talking, of course, about the most important days of Mercury retrograde, what it's all about, what it means, what's going on before the retrograde, after it, during, just to let you all know what's going on. I'll also be talking about how this Mercury retrograde will affect your sign. So if that's something you are interested in, please sign up at the link down below. I hope to see you all there. Now, for your horoscope. What we've got going on today is the moon hanging out right here in Pisces. When the moon is in Pisces, it brings our attention to spirituality, internal matters, emotional matters, what is going on inside us. Also trying to figure out what we need in life to feel more whole, to feel more at peace with ourselves. Moon in Pisces also brings our attention to the past, overcoming some things from the past, making sense of the past, so that we finally can start to overcome the past and move forward. So that's a lot of what is going on today. Now late yesterday and into today, we had the moon in Pisces making a sextile over here to Saturn, which I see being a very positive thing. So anything that we could do to understand better what was going on inside us, to understand our emotions, to understand spiritually and intuitively what we needed to find more peace in life, was then helping us here where Saturn is to put our life in the right direction, to move forward on things that are important to us, to feel better about where our life is going in some way, and to create more of the structure, the boundaries, the things in life that we need to start to feel better and to start to feel more stable as we move forward. So I see it being a very positive thing that was happening at the end of yesterday and into this morning. Then at 8 a.m. Mountain Time today, the moon, as it comes off of this sextile to Saturn, makes a conjunction with Neptune, as you see it right here in this chart, which I think is another beautiful thing. Because not only are these sextiles to Capricorn very positive that the moon's making while it's in Pisces, but also the moon here is touching Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces coming in, I really think, and this is happening right before a new moon too, I think really helping us to better understand spiritually, emotionally, internally, what is going on with us and what we need inside to feel better. So I think it's just going to be a great time, especially this morning at 8 a.m. when the moon conjuncts Neptune, to pay attention to your spiritual promptings, to get in touch with who you are inside, so that you can get more insights and so that you can feel more comfortable with your life. Because of this aspect, even though I do think it's going to be very positive, I mean, it could bring up some confusion with Neptune, but I think it's going to be positive with the way things are going today. But because of this aspect, it can also be a good time to meditate, spend some time alone, to pray. It's always a good time to do these things, but I think if you do these things today, they might yield a lot more insights than maybe they would otherwise. Also a good time to create, to paint, to write, to draw, or just maybe pamper yourself, take a bath. Anything that you can do along those lines I think is going to yield really good results here to help you understand what you need internally and how you can build more of that structure and to move forward with the moon Neptune conjunction at 8 a.m. All right, and that's going to stay with us for most of the day. The next aspect is going to happen at 6 p.m., so a good few hours later, Mountain Time. And what's going to go on there is that the moon in Pisces is going to make a sextile here to Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, and I think what that's going to bring up at 6 p.m. here, I want to say is, I think a lot of good feelings, a lot of strong feelings, maybe us starting to feel like we're stepping into our power, we're understanding better what's going on inside us, what we need, and we're starting to finally get the hang of where we want our life to go and how we can feel much better about our life. So I see it being a really good opportunity for us to change our life for the better, to understand what's going on, to feel more comfortable, to step into our power, to move forward in some way. The Pluto thing could bring more changes in our life that we need to make. Maybe we feel like after we've spent some time in reflection, maybe there are still some changes that we need to make to put our life in a direction we like better, but because this is a sextile coming in, I think whatever changes you realize you want to make and whatever feelings come up around this time at night today are going to be really positive to help you create a life that's better for you, feel much better about your life, more stable, more secure, to move forward, doing what it is that you need to do to just bring it all together, to bring all the pieces together and to continue on in your life in a much better way than what you have previously. All right. So I like it a lot. Then after that happens at midnight, the moon is going to move further through Pisces and make a trine over here to Jupiter, where the sun just was earlier this week. And I think what that's going to do here is really help you to start to maybe, how do I even say this, change the way that you feel, transform yourself from the inside out. I know I've been saying that a little bit so that you can meet the new demands of a new life that you're just now starting to step into, that you're just now starting to comprehend more than you have previously. You know, maybe while all these planets were in Pisces the past few weeks, there was lots of confusion that was coming in, lots of fog about your life. But I think now that a lot of planets are leaving Pisces, now that a lot of planets are reaching the last degrees of Pisces too, and now that we're getting a lot more pretty sextiles coming in to Saturn here, I think things are starting to get better. We're starting to get more clarity on where our life is going and where we need to go next. And I think with Jupiter too making this trine, we're starting to understand more what's going on deep down within us and how we can address those feelings and use them to our advantage to propel us forward, to create more of the life that it is that we really want, and to face the future with less fear and with more resolve and more conviction and more hope than we have previously. And I think the Sun trine Jupiter is really trying to help us here overcome some things from the past and to really move forward feeling more powerful, feeling much more strong, feeling stronger about our life and who we are, and like we're finally going in the right direction, okay, coming in. So I think the fog here and the confusion is definitely starting to clear big time, and our life is starting to go in a different direction. And I think this is the moment here, especially right before the new moon. The new moon is going to happen tomorrow at 5 a.m. that we're finally figuring out inside what is going on with us, what all of this means from the past, what all of this like soul searching and hard work has been for, so that we can finally move forward in a better way coming in. And I think this is the moment, especially after this new moon in Pisces, when the chapter is going to change, when we're going to be living a significantly different life than what we've been living lately, and we're just now at the very tip of it, starting to step into it. All right, so that's what I'm going to leave you with for the day. Now, other stuff going on today. We've got Mars 29 degrees. This is huge. I think this is huge. Not only is any planet, whenever it's at 29 degrees, a big deal, but it's also a big deal because it's about to enter Capricorn, which is its sign of exaltation. Mars loves Capricorn. Also because the sign of Sagittarius has been occupied almost for 3 years straight. We had Saturn in Sagittarius for 2.5 years. It left last December. When it left very shortly after, Mars moved in, and it's been in ever since. And so Mars, and no planet's going to be in Sagittarius until what, October, I think, when Jupiter moves in. So this is going to be like the last time a planet's going to be in Sagittarius for a few months. And when Jupiter moves in, it's much more fortunate because Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius, healing everything from the past few years. But Mars is leaving Sagittarius here for once and all for the next 2 years until it'll be back again. I think really signifying a huge chapter change in our life that's about to take place. All right, and it's about to take place on the same day the new moon in Pisces happens, which is like kind of, I don't think it's a coincidence, but it's to me very powerful, saying that right as we have this new moon in Pisces to become a new person on the inside, to think more about the future, to think about our life in new and different ways, and to do something kind of new that we haven't done before, becomes the time that a big 3-year chapter, a big 3-year period in our life ends. Okay, so that we can begin to do something else. And this 3-year chapter and period has been all about Sagittarius, has been all about us experimenting, trying new things, working with our belief systems to figure out what we believe and how we can believe the right things about our life in some way. It's also been a time, because Sagittarius is the sign of experimentation, and because it's a mutable sign of great change in our life. Lots of changes, lots of instability coming in, which is a good thing because it helps you experiment, but isn't always a good thing if it lasts permanently. And I think Mars leaving Sagittarius is really going to be the beginning here of more stability in our life, of us really beginning to take all of these new things that we've been experimenting and to begin to build on them and to move forward with them in a much better way. And that's shift that we're trying to make. And Mars at 29 degrees today is really saying, okay, before you make that switch, right before the new moon comes tomorrow, coming in here, have you done everything new that you wanted to do? Are your beliefs in the right place, in the best place possible to support your new growth, to support your new life, so that you can really begin to build on these things and use them to your advantage in a positive way in the future? All right, and Mars at 29 degrees could bring lots of decisions today, lots of action. It's gonna be very, very intense, especially with Mars and especially with 29 degrees, really asking you and maybe making you feel like you need to get everything in today, everything you've wanted to do the past few years in today, so that when Mars moves over into Capricorn and when we have this new moon come, that you can then start to build on it, feeling like your life is finally in the place that you want it to be, or in a much better place, doing something you enjoy, even if everything hasn't really been built on yet. Okay, so I see that being a huge thing. Mars, as well, as we're really trying to complete some 3-year journey to do something new so that we can build on it later. Mars squaring Chiron today as well, bringing up lots of hurt feelings about perhaps some new thing that we're doing, feeling uncomfortable doing some new thing, feeling like we're being taken out of our comfort zone in some way, maybe being a little bit unsure or uncertain about it. But again, needing to make these last few moves to do something new so that you can finally renew yourself, step into an entirely new chapter, the new moon in the next few days coming in. Okay, and needing to realize that these hurt feelings that you have are only because you're doing something new that you haven't done before. And the minute you commit to doing something new and starting to build on them, to build more stability in your life and not have things be so crazy, is the moment things are going to start to feel better. And needing to realize that not only is this square to Chiron, these hurt feelings about something new that you're doing, temporary, but it's going to leave very quickly. It's going to be gone very soon, and you're going to start to feel much better. But in the meantime, needing to make sure before Mars enters Capricorn that you've got all your ducks in a row, that you've got everything that you wanted to do lined up, so that you can start to build on it and narrow it down in the future. All right, so that's going on there. Venus and Mercury also still in a conjunction where they've been in most of this week, bringing up lots of conversations or lots of thoughts, even with yourself, about relationships and about money. With Venus not really being in a good spot in Aries, needing to make sure you're not making any rash decisions that may come back to haunt you, especially with Mercury going retrograde over this spot. You may be dealing with the things that you decide or think about now for a while, and just needing to make sure that that you're doing things in the way that can ensure the most success for you and that are the best for you long term, especially with the square to Saturn coming in from Venus. Just wanting to make sure that anything that you're doing or thinking about or deciding in regards to relationships as money is ultimately going to be best for you long term in some way. Okay. After you make some of those decisions or have some of those hard conversations, especially if you're thinking long term, I do think, however, that they are going to be good for you, because right after Venus comes off of the square to Saturn, and Mercury, they then make a trine over here to the North Node in Leo, really helping you to be happier, to feel more lighthearted, to feel like you're making progress, to find more of the joy in life, and to feel like you're leading your life in the right direction. So lots of positive things coming in once you make some hard decisions and have some hard conversations to start to feel much better about your life. All right. The other thing I want to talk about, the sun. I'm kind of covering it up a little bit now, but the sun also in a trine with Jupiter, which I also just talked about a little bit with the moon triggering that spot today. I think, again, helping you change your identity, transform your idea of yourself from the inside out, so that you can meet the demands of a new life, with the chapter in our life about to change in a huge way very soon, to be different than what it's been the past 3 years. And I think this is the day, I think I mentioned this early in my horoscope, this is the day the change takes place. This is the day and the time that we start to realize life is going to be different, and to start to move forward towards that different future with less fear than we have recently, with more resolve, okay, and with more understanding of what really is going on with us, okay? So that's what I have for you. Now your card for the day is the Ace of Wands upright. I love this card. This to me is a card of excitement, of passion, of new. I see this a lot being a new moon card, even though the new moon isn't until tomorrow at 5 a.m. But I see there being a lot of opportunity today to get excited about your life, to move forward, feeling like you're doing some things that make you happy, that you can finally start to take them into new chapters, maybe getting excited about how things are changing, coming in. And I think today is just a really good day. I don't want to say to start to do things. I mean, the new moon isn't here yet, but to start to see the possibility of your future, to see the better things that are coming to you, to get excited about your new life, to be creative, to find more of the passion so that you can begin to move into a new identity, to move forward. I think today is a good day to see how good life is about to be and to be more optimistic about your future and about what is to come. Okay, and to do whatever you can to find that optimism for all the good things that I think are right around the corner, even if it doesn't seem like it. But I think we're starting to understand that more and more as time goes on. Things are getting better. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.